Hello, my name is Julia Manuali, and I'm a research assistant here at Georgetown's Early.Learning.Project. Today, I will be discussing a study that is part of a larger project researching the effects of media use on child development. This study by Fitzpatrick et al. Is titled Preschooler Screen Time and Temperamental Anger and Frustration During the COVID-19 Pandemic. Heavy media use in children has been linked to emotional difficulties, which may affect emotion regulation skills, such as being able to name an emotion, talking through feelings, and managing feelings. Child screen time is likely to lessen time for other activities that increase emotional development, such as interactions with caregivers. The COVID-19 pandemic offered a unique time where the stay-at-home orders disrupted the routines of children and their families, allowing the impact of screen media on children's development to be examined. With the increasing popularity of media use, one question that remains is, does media use in preschoolers affect their likelihood to feel anger or frustration? The current study uses parents reporting on their child's hours per day of screen time and the child's anger or frustration, which can be displayed as tantrums, verbal outbursts, or throwing objects, both of which are measured at ages 3.5 and 4.5. The study compares 315 preschool-age children's screen time and anger or frustration through the parents' reporting of their child's screen time and anger or frustration. Indicators of family distress, such as childcare and child sleep, family income, parenting stress, parent education, and marital and employment status were also taken into account. Some of the findings from the present study were that parenting stress was associated with more child expression of anger or frustration. Belonging to a low-income household and parental unemployment were related to increased amounts of child screen time. Third, having parents who are married or are on parental leave were both associated with decreased rates of media usage. For every hour of screen time reported at age 3.5, the study predicted increased levels of anger and frustration reported at 4.5. Lastly, higher levels of anger and frustration reported at age 3.5 did not predict higher levels of child screen time reported at age 4.5. Some conclusions of this study are that each hour of screen time contributes to anger in preschoolers, but the results are more likely to be significant for heavy media exposure, which is considered 4 or more hours per day. It is important to note that during the COVID-19 pandemic, parenting stress may have been higher because of circumstances that surrounded the stay-at-home orders, like worrying about becoming sick, for example, which may increase anger and frustration as well. These stresses about the pandemic were also related to an increase in screen time. During this study, the context of the screen time, such as what the child was watching or playing, and if they were using a screen with a parent or by themselves, was not taken into consideration, which is a limitation of this study because these factors may have a positive or negative effect on anger and frustration. Another conclusion is that screen time may have decreased opportunities to interact with other children. Such interactions that often involve imaginary play and social games have a positive impact on children's ability to regulate their emotions. This study is important for parents with preschoolers who are learning to regulate their emotions. The results of this study suggest that screen media intake is linked to the way children regulate negative emotions. In future studies, it is important to take external circumstances into consideration, such as parental stress, the media content, and how media is used. Thank you for listening. Please visit our website or scan our QR code to learn more about early childhood development research. Join us. There's more that we can know about early childhood development.